I never imagined a sentence could change the temperature of a room so fast. One moment, our kitchen felt normal, familiar, almost boring. The next, it felt hollow, like something vital had been removed. My name is Adrian Holloway. I'm 43, born in Leeds, living in Surrey, and married to Claire for 11 years. We weren't perfect, but we were stable. At least, that's what I believed. I worked logistics, paid the mortgage, handled repairs, stayed consistent. Claire used to say that was what she loved about me, that I made life feel secure. When we met, Claire was vibrant and restless, the kind of woman who filled space without trying. I was quieter, deliberate, predictable. She said I balanced her. For years, that seemed true. We built routines, shared responsibilities, hosted dinners, planned holidays. Nothing dramatic, just life. Somewhere along the way, though, the warmth faded. Conversations shortened, laughter became polite, affection turned scheduled, then rare. I noticed it, but I didn't panic. People change, marriages evolve. I told myself stability mattered more than sparks. The night she said it wasn't explosive. No argument, no shouting. We were washing dishes after dinner. The television murmured in the background. I asked her something ordinary about visiting my parents the following weekend. She sighed, a heavy, irritated sound. Then, without looking at me, she said, "Sometimes I think I should have married Daniel instead." Her ex, a name I hadn't heard in years. She said it casually, like a passing thought, like it was harmless honesty. I didn't respond, not because I didn't hear her, but because every possible response felt wrong. Anger would have confirmed her disappointment. Defensiveness would have sounded weak. Pleading would have stripped whatever dignity I had left. So I stayed silent. I finished drying the plates, placed them in the cupboard and wiped the counter. My hands were steady. Inside, something shifted. That sentence didn't just insult me. It reframed our entire marriage. It suggested regret, comparison, contempt. You don't accidentally say something like that. Claire noticed my silence eventually. She asked if I was upset. I said no, not coldly, not warmly, just no. That seemed to confuse her more than anger would have. She waited for a reaction that never came. Over the next few days, she tried to act normal. Chatted about work, commented on the weather, asked what I wanted for dinner. I answered politely, efficiently. I wasn't punishing her. I was processing. There's a difference. In that quiet space, I replayed years of moments I'd ignored. Her dismissive tone, the eye rolls, the way she spoke about my job like it was temporary. I realized her comment wasn't random. It was honest, brutal, unfiltered honesty. She didn't miss Daniel specifically. She missed a version of herself she thought she'd lost by choosing me, and instead of owning that, she placed it at my feet. A week later, the shift became obvious to her. I stopped initiating conversations, stopped asking how her day was, not out of spite, but because I no longer needed to prove interest. I went to work, came home, handled my responsibilities, calm, neutral, present but distant. That distance unsettled her. One evening she asked why I'd changed. I told her I hadn't. I was just listening now. That frightened her more than any argument could have. She started backtracking, explaining she didn't mean it. I listened, didn't interrupt, didn't reassure her. When she finished, I asked a single question. "Do you respect me?" She hesitated. Not long, but long enough. Respect isn't something you hesitate about. In that pause, I got my answer. I nodded, thanked her for being honest, and went upstairs. That was the moment she realized what she'd done. The following days were tense. She became attentive, almost desperate. Compliments, touches, sudden concern. I didn't reject them. I didn't embrace them either. You can't unring a bell like that. Her sentence had drawn a line. On one side was the marriage I thought we had. On the other was the truth. I understood something then. Silence isn't weakness. Sometimes it's clarity. Sometimes it's the moment you stop arguing with reality. I didn't leave that night. I didn't threaten divorce. I didn't cancel accounts or pack bags. I simply stopped negotiating my worth. Whether this marriage survives isn't about punishment or revenge. It's about alignment. You can't build a future with someone who openly imagines a past without you. Claire learned that words don't disappear once spoken. Some of them change how you're seen forever. And once that happens, silence isn't avoidance, it's acceptance.